Hey people, so I wanted to do this video as a reply to a message that was sent to me about collars. Um, the question was specifically about when to collar. The person who sent it to me um, has a pet that he has had for about 4 months and wants to know when to collar. Um, and what type of collar to buy and so on and so on. Honestly, I can tell you I don't have an answer to your question. Um, I can give you a big long reason why I don't have a particular answer to the question, but the real reason is because there is no answer to the question. There is no. Let me rephrase that. There is no right answer to the question. Um, no matter who you are, or what you are, the reality is that when it comes to things like collaring, we all make our own rules. We all create our own standards. We all have our own way of doing things, and no matter what somebody tells you, no matter what you read online, no matter what anybody says, what it comes down to is what's right for your particular situation. What works for you solely. That's it. It's not a matter of what are they doing, what am I doing. What I'm doing, I'm actually changing up my collaring procedures. Because I have been caught, because in the past I've collared way too fast. I had a very structured, rigid, time-framed collaring, and it just doesn't work. It doesn't make any sense. So if I'm going, if I'm going to collar somebody in the future, it's going to be based not on time but on merit. Do I feel that they've earned the collar, not just they've been with me for so long? Collars are not, or can be anything. Collars can be absolutely, when it comes to what type of collar to get. Collars can be anything. Collars can be metal. They can be leather. They can be rope. They could be it could be a dog collar. They could be a choke chain. It could be one of those ones you go to the store and find that are big, fancy, and have you have the latches that you can put a lock through. But to me, that's a collar should not be a fashion accessory. A collar is a promise. A collar is a commitment. A collar is everything that you are to each other in that piece that goes around a neck. That's it. It's that simple. When you present the collar to someone and put it around their neck, you infuse that collar with a series of magic. And I don't mean it literally, I'm talking figuratively, but you know what I mean. It's that emotional magic that you know that this collar, that this piece of leather, this piece of plastic, this piece of steel, that this has meaning. That it's more than just the sum of its parts. And that when it is on the person that you give it to, when it's around their throat, it's not only a symbol for them, it's a commitment. But when you see it, it's a commitment for you, reminding you of what you are there to do, why you're there with them. That you've put that around them, not just because it looks good. Yeah, there are people who do that. But if you really want to collar someone, there has to be passion behind it. There has to be this feeling that I can't really describe. And what hurts more is when it's removed, when it's ripped off, or taken off, or cut off by the person that you put it on. If it has to be removed for medical reasons, or they can't wear it to work, or or what, they can't wear it around the family or whatever, that's a different scenario, because it's the magic is still there. But as soon as it's taken off, as soon as it is removed out of anger, out of spite, out of jealousy, out of rage, out of fear, out of whatever, the magic goes, and you can put it back on, sure. But it loses everything. It goes from being the collar that you lovingly presented to just a piece of leather, or just a piece of plastic, or just a piece of steel. If you're going to collar somebody, understand the power that comes with that piece. That when you put that thing around their neck, it's not just a fashion accessory. The passion that exists in this lifestyle, it is hard to understand if you don't live this lifestyle. That this piece of jewelry holds meaning beyond a piece of jewelry. And you can't compare it to a wedding ring. It's not the same. A wedding ring is very, very different. Yes, it's a commitment. Yes, it's here's, well, look at oh, I'm married. When people see a wedding ring, they know exactly what's going on. When people see a collar, they don't. Because you can walk into any club, any BDSM club in America, any leather bar in America, and see tons of people wearing collars. Doms, subs, people that don't have any type of BDSM relationship at all. You see goth kids wearing them. You see them on music videos. You see them all over. So they really have no meaning other than it looks good around the neck. I mean, hell, even major fashion designers are purposely creating necklaces that are chokers, that look like collars. So they are basically meaningless until you put meaning into them. When you collar somebody, understand what you're doing. Understand the passion and the power that exists with that piece of metal, with that piece of steel, with that piece of plastic. Be careful with who you do this with, because you will be burned sometimes. But know in the end, when you collar somebody, the passion that exists is only going to be intensified. Be well and safe.